Why limit tasks to 3 hours? What if something generally requires more time? This question refers to what we just talked about, the highlight of the day, where we consider it takes about 3 hours, where you have to do deep work in order to accomplish this task. It's really an important task to do.
Paperless Movement, your productivity, your way.
So there are two things to this question. One would be, well, if it takes more than 3 hours, then always ask yourself, is it really just one task? Or is it several things that I need to do? Do I need to split this task up into several subtasks? And again, in the ICOR methodology, we define subtasks just as tasks. There's not such thing as subtasks. If you create subtasks in a task, the task itself becomes just a container holding more tasks. So it gives you just more structure. So this means you have the main task and you realize it contains actually more actions that I need to do. Well, then create these subtasks and work through the subtasks as highlights of the day through the week. That's how you can split this up. There might be things that you start working on something, you realize after 3 hours, man, this is amazing and it takes more time and I accomplished 10% more outcome and it's really worth it. Then keep going for 5 hours if it is worth it on that day, or then go back on the other day and finish the task. So you have to be flexible. The key is just to stay in control what you have to do and know what is the priority for you to do right now, and also not to overdo things, because sometimes you could work for one task for weeks and actually just adding another 1%, which is not even worth it doing. So having this limitation of 3 hours usually forces you to do your best and have a full focus session on this one task, but at the same time give you a limitation that you say, okay, now let's call it a day. It's 3 hours that I put into the task. That's the best I did, and that's it. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's a matter of, well, I have never found myself not being able to reduce a task to 3 hours. Okay, no matter how huge the goal, the project, or whatever it is, you can only always start splitting into those blocks, because that's what we are doing. We are forcing the things so that the time blocking technique works perfectly, okay? Because for you, it's a time block, a slot that it's perfectly identified, yeah, that you know that it needs to be on top of your schedule, of your planner, okay? And it's also a matter of performance and quality, okay? That depends on the person, it's very personal. A lot of people are not conscious of the level of quality and volume of outcomes that they can deliver just by being fully focused into something for 1 hour or just 1 hour and a half. It's amazing. I've developed amazing strategies for a whole year just in 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. Just having clarity, our brains are amazing and they can deliver with a quality at a speed that we are not even conscious.
Well, that's the
So it
Parkinson's
depends.
law that hits there, right? So we all know this. Oh man, I have this meeting. I have just 15 minutes to prepare for the meeting. Amazing how much you actually accomplish in these 15 minutes. That's what
Correct.
we know. But why do you need to stress out this if you actually have control over this? Leverage the Parkinson's law, but in a controlled way, right, Paco?
Correct. And also being able to perfectly manage your energy. Imagine how we are leveraging your productivity. For instance, the moment that you really think, dedicating to think to really define the best highlight of the day possible, and then really nailing down into going into your best way possible, talking about energy, motivation, to attack that highlight of the day. We need to manage our energy and we need to be conscious that sooner or later it's gonna start going down. So the moment that it's going down, it's the moment to stop that deep work session and then start with the shallow work, so that you can get released of a huge ton of shallow work. Shallow work, it's important. The point is that it needs a different approach, talking about the processes, even the tools you use, the mindset, everything is different, talking about deep work and shallow work. So dedicate time to think about the highlight of the day, dedicate time to be fully immersed into that momentum and flow. And then the moment that you consider that you should stop because you are conscious of that, then it's a moment to change completely of task, forget about it, and start doing some other things that don't require such a huge level of energy. Because if you dedicate 2 to 3 hours of deep work, you end up exhausted, okay? Obviously, you can keep working, okay? But not with that level of precision, quality, and speed. Because the point is also that the moment that you dedicate 5 hours to shallow work, the amount of shallow work that you are really able to complete, it's amazing too. So imagine perfectly completing deep work and shallow work at your best every day, and doing that with consistency is how you achieve any kind of goal.
So how do you feel after seeing all this? Do you think your productivity system is at this level? Take our free 3-minute quiz to find out. Whether you struggle with note-taking, PKM, task or project management, or even workflow automation, we've got you covered. Depending on your results, you'll get a tailor-made free email course starting right after you finish the quiz that will instantly level up your productivity system with laser-focused, actionable advice. Click the link in the description below and unlock your full potential. And we are personally here to help you succeed. So let's ICOR together.